Welcome back, guys. John again from Twisted Blade Detailing. We now have a Mitsubishi in here for a windshield. Silly that it needs a windshield because it's only got a small little stone chip in it, but it is a dealer car and you can't safety a car that has a stone chip on the driver's side. So we are going to swap this windshield out. As you can see, right there, that little small stone chip right there makes this car not safetyable. So follow us as we get this window swapped out, get the window pulled out, and pop this new one in right there. As soon as Jeff's done over there, power washing my floor. So I'm not really sure what this is. It is a Mitsubishi Mirage. Didn't know they existed, but that's what we're doing. So yeah, this will be the first for us on this particular kind of car. We have never done a windshield on this one, so as we film this, we're gonna learn it together. All right, because Jeff works faster than I get my butt out here. He's already got the shroud off and the wipers, which is no really difference than any other vehicle. So now he's getting the rest of the tools to pull the moldings out, which are right in here. And then we'll cut this window out. This one has a rain sensor, which Jeff's pulling out right now. And for those of you that don't understand what a rain sensor is, it activates your wipers when it's raining so you don't have to. They can be handy and they can be a pain in the butt sometimes too. So you save the rain sensor and put it in the new window, which is what goes in right here. So that's where your rain sensor goes. And as you can see on the top of the window right here. So as you can see, or maybe not see, all the soap and water, that's actually on the inside. Jeff sprays the entire surrounding of the bottom with the water. So when he's doing this, it helps glide through a little bit. Definitely want to be careful doing this, because if you get too close to your pillars, it will actually cut right through the metal. So when doing this, you be very careful. You watch what you're doing, you take your time, you go slow, because the last thing you'll want to do is cut somebody's car in half. And they didn't come in here to get a convertible, so we make sure we don't do that. Passenger side is done. So that's done now. So now Jeff's gonna put this very expensive tool away and get out our spider wire and rope out the rest of the window, which is the top half of the window. So now he's pulling out the molding so the rope will fit through nice and easy. Now be careful doing that. Some of these moldings have metal inside, and more times than Jeff likes to admit, he has pulled on that and it has cut his fingers.
If I don't bleed every day, there's something wrong with me.
That's a valid statement at this company. So as you can see, he's got a suction cup up there, which is, watch your head, right there. And you put that rope right through here in the bottom, and then we'll wrap it around the entire window. And then you can crank that manually, but that takes too long, so we use a drill. But if you use the drill on high speed, it will burn the drill out. We've figured that one out too.
Ask me how I know that.
Yeah. And again, weirdly enough, this little string will cut metal if you're not being careful. So when you're doing this, if you feel like it's snagging at all, stop, because one of two things is going to happen. The rope's going to break, or it's going to start cutting through metal.
And that is why you guys hand crank.
Yeah. So you'll see this rope snug up once Jeff hits that with the drill on low. It's snugged up. And then you got this little tray thing down here, and that's just to help guide us so it doesn't catch on the interior or anything else. So you usually walk that around with the rope as well. Just like that. And then across the headliner to prevent the headliner from tearing, and your pinch weld as well. And the pinch weld is where they bond the two pieces of metal of your roof and your scrub thing together. So that side's all cut out. Now Jeff's going to move on to this side and finish the other quarter of the window, and then the window will be ready to come out.
I'd say it's more like an eighth of a window.
Smart ass. See how the window's lifting a bit? Sometimes you got to move this out of the way because it gets kind of caught up in there. And it is suction cup. So again, make sure your suction cups are clean. Make sure the window's as clean as you possibly can get it, so they don't fail, fall off, or move, because you could be fighting yourself constantly. Every time you hit it with the drill, the rope tightens up and it just moves the suction cup across your window and doesn't actually cut it. So as you can see, he's literally got 2 inches left to cut the window. That's it. Just putting on the adapter just to make the drill sideways, make it a little easier for himself. Now sometimes this window will actually drop right down, other times it'll stay where it needs to be. But as you can just see, it only dropped about a quarter of an inch. But the window is free, it is ready to come out now. Oh, you're working something. And again, then he's going to take up all the urethane all the way around the window. He's going to cut that all out, clean that all up, prime any spots that is actual paint or bare metal, and then lay the urethane back down, and we'll put this new window back in, and then reassemble the cowl and the wipers and everything else that are down there. And yes, we put them under the car, so they're out of our way. We don't trip over them, we don't break them, we don't lose them. They're under the car because we can't step there. So. But you definitely don't ever move the car while that stuff's under there, because you know you will run that over. So as you can see, now we've gotten everything cut off. Just got a pile of old urethane he's putting in the garbage. So that's a problem. If there's any rust around this seam, chances are the window will leak. So you got to clean up the rust, sand it down, prime it, paint it, whatever you got to do to make sure that it gets a good bond, because one, again, window could leak. Two, it could fail and actually come out because there was dirt or rust. So this little pad Jeff has in his hand, he has put activator on there. So that helps adhere the urethane to the car. So he does that all the way around. All the places the urethane's gonna go back on. And then we will also put that on the window. But on the window, you make sure you do not go over the VIN opening, because, or also on the glass itself, you only put the activator on the black, because what happens is it will actually give you a hazy color over that glass, and you won't be able to see the VIN number anymore or anywhere else, and it's non-washable. Once it's on there, it's on there. You cannot get it off. So when you're going around here, you make sure you go around here, not over here, and don't pass up when you're going up the sides onto the glass itself, because you will regret it when the customer is not happy that he can't see through certain spots of his window that is impossible to clean. So for some reason, sometimes the shipper will put duct tape around here which is a pain in the ass sometimes because as you're peeling it off, it can actually pull the molding off the window, which then you got to try to get the molding back on the window, and it leaves a residue from the tape on the glass, like right in here,
It's
that you
annoying
need
as
to
hell.
get cleaned up. So kind of pain in the ass. We wish they didn't do that kind of stuff, but unfortunately, some of the shippers actually do that. So now we're gonna go ahead and get all this glue residue cleaned up off this glass. As you can see, Jeff has already put the new rain sensor, or sorry, the old rain sensor out of the old glass into the new glass. So that's ready to go. We'll get this one cleaned up, activated, and then there is a timer limit. I believe it's 5 minutes, Jeff?
Yeah.
Before you can actually lay the urethane. So once we've activated it, then we'll lay the urethane 5 minutes after, then we'll install the glass, and then we set another timer that is a 1 hour timer, which lets you know that the vehicle is safe to drive again without the window, you know, potentially falling out. So Jeff is cleaning up the glass right now with these little scrubby pads. They work great. And weirdly enough, they will actually scratch your paint if you put it on your paint.
Yeah, very fine sandpaper.
Yeah, but it's fine on the glass, but do not rub your paint with it because we've made that mistake on my truck actually.
No, what are you talking about? We.
It wasn't me. I wouldn't do something like that because I know better. It was that fucking monkey back there. So as you can see, the window is clean. There's no more tape residue anywhere on the glass. So now Jeff is going to activate the window. And again, you watch the clear part because it will leave a residue. So where he's activating is where he will lay the urethane down, and that's where it'll adhere to the car. Decent sounding truck out there. So now we wait 5 minutes, which Jeff calls it his timer stick because, you know, he's a chain smoker, so he'll have a cigarette, which gives him the time he needs to let this cure, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with the urethane. He's adding a little bit of primer just to a few spots that potentially might need it. Better be safe than sorry. You know what? Right there. And this is also just to help with the urethane sticking to the car. Because the last thing you ever want is leaks. Then you got to pull the window out and do it all over again at our cost. And you definitely don't want the window to come out of the vehicle when it's not supposed to. And Jeff always puts his name on the window. Nobody will ever see it, but he thinks he's funny.
Just for me.
Mm-hmm. Now Jeff's flipping the window over to get it ready to go into the car. He'll add his suction cups to the glass. As you can see, he's killing himself one cigarette at a time. So as you can see now, he's setting up his suction cups, measuring out the distance he needs to go on the windshield. So this one's on the door. And again, we did clean the window. And then he sets this one where he needs it on the actual glass here. And this one's already set in. So now it's just time to urethane it, which goes on the car. You can do it on the window too, but it's a better idea to do it on the car because then you know where the framing on the car actually is in order for it to catch the glass. Because the last thing you want is to put it on the glass and then you think you have it right, and then urethane ends up being over here, not over here, and then miss the glass altogether, which causes a leak right there. So some do it both ways, but here we try to always put on the glass first when possible. Sorry, on the car first when possible, not the glass, just to avoid that issue. But there is the odd time where we just can't put on the glass first. Or my bad, on the car first. So this is our urethane gun, which is just a glorified caulking gun, but it is quite expensive and it's all powered. and it is set at different speeds, so I recommend if you never used one before to use it at the slow speed, because on the high speed you can really make this stuff come out fast.
It comes out like a bat out of hell.
Yeah. And again, the tape on the roof is to put to the windshield once we install it, just to help it stay in place till the urethane actually sets. You don't want it sliding down even the slightest little bit, because you can cause wind noise or leak. As you can hear, Jeff's phone ring. It's probably his wife trying to annoy him today. The old style, which was done with an actual caulking gun, which we actually have one right over here. So the manual way to do it is this right here. And I don't know if you've ever used one of them, but your hand will be so sore by the time you're done, because that urethane does not come out very easily. So each time you squeeze that, it feels like your fingers are ready to fall off. So we switched to the powered kind because it's just a lot easier. A little more money, but a lot easier on the hands and won't give you arthritis down the road. So each time he stops though, unfortunately there will be a seam that he's got to blend together with a blue stick, just to make sure there's no wind noise or leakage coming through between the seams. About half an inch thick. So when we put the window down, we'll smush that together, widen it, and bond it properly. So now Jeff's going to get the blue stick, which he's got in his hand, blend them together, and then the window goes in. All right, now time to put the window in. I apologize for the noise. There's a lot of noisy people next door at the other business.
That's David.
Uh-huh. I stand by my statement. Noisy people. So this side's in, and just like the last video, we'll remove the suction cup, move it over so the window can drop. Now the window's in place. So now you just push down with your hands all the way around to make sure that you've pushed the urethane down nice, so it bonds properly to the window. There's no gaps, no airspace, nothing. And then once this is all done, put the tools away. He'll put the wipers and the shroud back on the front, pull the tape off, which that tape's not sticking, and the job will be done. And then we'll deliver the car back over to the dealership across the road. You know, back to reassembling the car. So this one has push pins to go through to keep that in place all the way along. Then you put your wipers on, and that's it for this one. Now on some cars, your windshield washer fluid is actually in this shroud. Always make sure that you reconnect your washer fluid lines, so you don't got to pull this all off again when the customer says, hey, my washer fluid's not working. This one doesn't have that, because as you can see here, it's actually in the hood. It's not a problem, but some of the other models and cars, it's actually in there, and you don't want to make that mistake because it's just a pain in the ass. So now that the shroud's all back on, now it's lining up your wipers.
Apparently, remove suction cup first.
Yeah. Set that right there. So in most cases on the window, there's actually little lines right somewhere down in here which would indicate where your wipers need to go when you put them back on. This one doesn't actually have it, at least that I can see, but a lot of windows actually do have that, which makes it really handy because you don't want to put the wipers on in the wrong spot. All you have to do now is just tighten them up and take the suction cups off, reattach the rearview mirror, reattach the cover for the rain sensor, take tape off, and that's it. So thanks for watching. Did you like my video? Just like it, subscribe, comment, whatever. Till the next time, stay weird, people.